Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Audi SQ7. Huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. So this SQ7 is finished off in Mythos Black Metallic with an MSRP just over $111,000. Underneath the hood, this is powered by a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that's paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 500 horsepower, 568 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the Quattro all-wheel drive system, weighing in right around 5,300 pounds. This will still do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 22.5 gallons. You'll expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city, 20 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 117.9 inches. Its overall length is 199.6. It has a width of 77.6 and a height of 68.5 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now, this specific model has a ton of packages, almost too many to remember. We have the Sport package, the Prestige package, Luxury package, Sport exhaust resonator kit, black optic package, even carbon fiber accents, towing package too. A lot of goodies for this particular model. So let's work our way back to the front, where you'll notice for the hexagonal grille, it is finished off in gloss black for the entire surround. Along with the Audi badge, there's a forward-facing camera, even a sensor on both sides for the adaptive cruise. Plenty of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling to that engine, along with some more parking sensors and then large air inlets on both sides. So definitely a lot of cooling. Even the lower section has the cutout. This also has the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, and there's even a washer just underneath the headlight housings, so you can clean those as needed. Everything being finished off in black up front just gives it a very clean design. There's a few lines in the lower section of the bumper, and then 4 that come down the hood, 2 on each side. Now as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 21-inch wheels with a 2-tone design and that multi-spoke pattern. The red brake calipers are part of the Sport package, along with this having the Sport differential and the anti-roll bar stabilization. Now, like I mentioned earlier, carbon fiber is on the power folding side mirrors. There's the turn signal and a camera system too. Full moon roof up top. The roof racks have a matte black finish to them with gloss black surrounding all the window accents. The Quattro badge is also stamped in the lower section of the passenger door, which is a nice subtle touch. Very nice lines running down the side, as well as the fender arches too. There's a crisp line that goes from the headlight housing, sweeps all the way to around the taillights in the back. So it definitely has a great design to it. And from the exterior, you would not think that this is a 3-row vehicle. So we will get to that 3rd row in just a second. Now up top, this has the spoiler finished off in gloss black with the 3rd brake light. Wiper blade is in that lower section. LED taillights with that sequential design to them. And then of course it has the backup camera with all of the parking sensors and the quad tip dual exhaust, which we will start up in just a little bit. This also has a maximum towing capacity up to 7,700 pounds. So for a family style SUV, this is very, very practical. Now this does have the power liftgate, so I'll just use the button right in the middle. You can use the button on the key fob, of course, to open that up. Now, like I mentioned, this is a 3-row SUV, so with the 3rd row up, this can give you an idea of the type of cargo space that you have if you have this full of people. Now, you can also fold down the 3rd row. Those are automatic, so the buttons over on this side, if I just push on the bottom ones, that will go all the way down pretty quickly, which is nice. And then with the 3rd row down, just like a 2-row SUV, you have a lot more interior space. You can use the top buttons to bring those back up. And then of course you can also fold down the middle row. So you can see in this clip with all of the seats folded down, there's a lot of space for any items that you'd like to place in. There's even that removable cover. You can have it up if needed. It only works when the 3rd row is folded down. So if you have the 3rd row up, you cannot have that installed. And then also over on this left side, you can actually raise and lower the back of this vehicle. So by pushing on that button, it will lower your load height. So if you have a little bit heavy items and you need that lower to place them in, you can easily do that. There's also a small storage pocket on that one side. and a little bit of storage underneath the floor. It's mainly some electronical components. I think the middle section is the subwoofer, and you have a few other components as well. Now up top with the power liftgate, you can lock the vehicle. One on the left side will just close it. And we can move on to these back seats where you can lock and unlock it using the door handles, which is nice. So it just locked right now. I think I have to back up a little bit because I put my hand on that button. From there, we can unlock it and take a look at this beautiful interior. So this has a manual adjusting sunshade, full leather in the upper section, alcantara, carbon fiber surrounding the brushed aluminum. There's even a little bit of a storage space just behind the window control, and then it has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, a little bit of storage behind that. Beautiful materials for this interior, and that makes its way to the full leather seats with that diamond stitch pattern. They are upright now. They do recline, which we will do here shortly, but at 5'10", I have plenty of room. There's nets behind both front seats, air vents in the middle, a bunch of climate adjustments underneath that. You can even control the heated seats, which is nice to see, and a few other controls like where you'd like the air to go and all of that information. And then there's some auxiliaries just underneath that. Now, at my height, 5'10", you can see the Alcantara headliner above me. I have 2 or 3 inches above my head, and then with this control on the side, I can go all the way back. So this is upright right next to me, and now I'm all the way back. I can be super comfortable, very spacious for your middle row passengers. Now right in the middle, if you don't have a center person there, we do have the armrest where you have a little bit of storage. You also have 2 cup holders, so you can use those as needed. You can also fold this middle seat down. So there's a tab right there. So if you want to fold that down, maybe get a little bit more space to your cargo area, or have it down if you do have a backseat passenger there, you have the option to do that, which is great to see. And then working our way to the third row now, it's pretty easy to get into. So I can use this control right here to lock this seat down. From there, I push on this handle, and by grabbing on that, it will lift that entire seat up. So that gives you plenty of access into the back seats now, where at 5'10", I have a good amount of space. So you will notice that with these seats all the way back, I still have a good amount of leg room. You can slide these seats forwards just to give you a little bit more. There's an armrest on one side with a cup holder too, and a good amount of visibility. Now my head is just up against the headliner, so I could ride around town, maybe a small road trip, and it feels very open. So while there's only 2 seats back here, it's actually pretty spacious to have someone next to me, which is great to see. There's also a speaker up top. You can see more of the Alcantara headliner, and then it is very easy to hop out. From there, lock the seat back into place, and you do have to unlock it from the side, and then we can lock it into its upright position. So a little bit of a process, but for the size of this, having 2 people in the back is not all that impractical. It's actually pretty decent. Now, as we work our way to the front door panel, just like the rear, however, there's the addition of all the window controls. Side mirrors are also heated. There's memory seating adjustments, even the power liftgate release, and a little bit more storage. And working your way to these beautiful leather seats with the S badge embroidered, all of the perforations. This even has massaging seats, so that function is down on the side with all of the automatic adjustments. And it's a low vehicle, so it's easy to hop into the front, where now we can move on to the solid leather and perforated leather for this steering wheel with the white stitching. On this left side, these are all for the virtual cockpit. On the right side, there's Bluetooth and voice commands, along with volume and tuning, and even a favorites button. But let's fire this up so we can hear that exhaust, and we can bring this to life. And as we come back to the virtual cockpit, on the left side is the tach, right side is miles per hour. Right in the middle, there's some information up top, like your range until empty, along with Bluetooth, phone, and even the navigation. And you can toggle between that using the arrows on that left side. So as you can see, we'll go into the phone right now. We have Bluetooth and then the navigation, which you can pull up. Now you can also bring everything up in full screen just by clicking on the view icon. So if I do that, now the tach and the miles per hour will be smaller on both sides, and you can zoom in and zoom out on the navigation. Now I can go through the rest of the information that I just showed in the larger screen. There's fuel consumption, your long and short-term memory, along with your energy consumption, even the driver assistance, any traffic information that you would like to see. And you can still scroll through that with everything now brought up in a larger view. So just depending on how you'd like to view this information, it's nice to be able to configure it that way. On the far left is the engine temperature, far right is the fuel level. And this also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They are finished off in black on both sides. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a favorites button. So when you push on that and then you go into the infotainment system, you can set that up to whatever you would like to use, which is really nice. Even having the camera view, so you can quickly push on that in a parking lot situation and pull that up. Now over on the left side, this is for cruise and adaptive cruise. Even the distance pacing is located on that stalk. Now on the left side, there's all the headlight adjustments, more carbon fiber, even a lot of storage space underneath. So you can place any additional items there. There's gloss black surrounding that trim piece. And with the Prestige model, you get the head-up display. So it's showing miles per hour and even the lane keeping assist. Full leather for the entire dash. Just underneath that lip, air vents go all the way to the passenger side with gloss black, bringing it back to the infotainment system. Now for this SQ7, there are two screens in the middle. So the upper one gives you a lot of information like your Bluetooth and phone. You can pull up the navigation. And then if you swipe over to view all of these icons, there's media, radio, phone, and navigation. If I click on vehicle, where this system has the haptic feedback, or the haptic feedback, so you can push on all these and you can hear that click like it's an actual button. Under the drive select, these are the various drive modes that you can go into. You can look at vehicle data, looking at pitch and roll and some other vitals like that, which is pretty neat to see. There's lighting and visibility going into your seats. If I go back to the home icon, there's a few more icons that you can look at, like your messages and some various settings. Now on this left side, these are all presets, so you can get into your audio, your music, you have your Bluetooth, and then even the navigation. So if your passengers would like to see it, you can pull this up in the center screen. So pretty simple to go through, very easy to use all that info. And then underneath that, we get into a lot more of the climate adjustments. But right above that screen, there are a few icons like the engine start stop. There's a downhill assist control, even a shortcut to the parallel parking. So you can pull that feature up. Right in the middle, if I push on those icons, it will minimize the lower info and pull up some favorites that you can store there, like your home address. So you can quickly pull that up. If I push on the button to the right of that, this is for the garage door openers that you can program as needed. There's also this button right here that will pull up the head-up display. So you can monitor all of that information. And then the last one actually will shut off that upper screen. You can just tap on it to pull it back up. Now underneath that, all of the climate adjustments are nicely laid out. You have your temperature, fan speed in the middle, where you'd like the air to go. These are even heated and ventilated, so both of those are on each side. There's some more AC adjustments. And if I push on the middle, now we can bring up the heated steering wheel, go into the rear climate adjustments, so you can adjust those as needed. They're sync and off. So if you have your kids in the back, you can quickly adjust that as needed. Very easy to use that system. There's also shortcuts to the drive select. So like I mentioned earlier, you can quickly get to those. There's traction control along with some defrosters. And then to the right of the engine start stop button, there's a shortcut to the camera system. So this has the 360 camera system. I can expand this lower section, and now we can go through various angles. There's even a top-down view. So you have no shortage of visibility along with where the front and the rear axles are. There's even the 360 view. You can just swipe your finger around to get that full view from the exterior. Very nice to see that. Right in the middle, if I push on that, that's another shortcut to the parallel parking system. There's also the sensors that you can push on, and then there's a physical button for power and volume for the radio. You can also click on it to go through your track, so you can skip songs and go to the next one. Now behind that, there's two cup holders, a little bit of storage with a 12 volt, and then for the leather wrap shifter, the release is on this left side. Pushing it forwards is for reverse.
If I go all the way back, that is for drive. And if I push it to the right, that is for your manual settings. So you can shift using the shifter or plus and minus on the steering wheel there. Park is located on the back. And then the e-brake is just behind that, finished off in brushed aluminum. There's more carbon fiber surrounding the exterior of this. And then looking at the leather wrapped armrest, there's a tab up underneath, so I can easily open that up, where there's the wireless charging pad, a little bit of storage, and a little bit in front of there. Now what I love about this armrest, if I pull on that tab and pull this forwards, now you have a little bit more of an adjustment depending on how comfortable you want your center armrest. So it's nice to have that. And then over on the passenger side, plenty of space for all the items that need to go there. Now this has the Alcantara headliner, like I mentioned earlier, and the full panoramic sunroof. So by using that control in the middle, that will open up to about just behind the second row passengers, providing you with a lot of light. The dome light controls are also up top, which are touch sensitive, and we even have the sunroof adjustments and a call button as well. As we set off now behind the wheel for this 23 SQ7, like I mentioned earlier, $111,000. Now this is the Prestige model. You can get the Premium Plus, which starts right around 90 grand. So we have a little bit of a window there based on your budget, what you're looking to get, and the options you want to go with for your 3-row SUV. So this is a very, very practical, spacious type of family vehicle. But if you want power too, we can put this into the dynamic setting. We got the paddles here. Oh, man, if you want performance out of your family style vehicle, and you want something that sounds good, this is a great option to go with. I truly love driving Audis. I do own an Audi myself. I'm not trying to be biased towards them, but I drive a lot of vehicles, different brands. This is a good option to go with. It's very sleek on the exterior, so it's more of a sleeper style SUV. It's driving super nice. Audis are very refined. They're very comfortable and quiet. There's no road noise, wind noise, cars passing. It's what you would expect from a luxury brand like Audi. And to further that luxury, we have the massaging seat control that you can easily get into and start. So this would be a perfect daily driver. If you're driving around your family, you have kids, you're behind the wheel a lot, I really don't have any issues with it. I love how comfortable this is to drive, and I love the tech that is offered, as you already saw in today's video. I love that small crackle in the exhaust. It's so smooth around these turns. It's incredible to see for a 3-row vehicle just how capable Audi is able to add performance to this. So that way you can have your family with you and not lose that performance driving if that's something you're interested in. That's something that I would personally want because I love my sports cars, but when the time comes to have kids and have a family and need that extra space, if you don't want a sedan, you want an SUV, it's going to give you those characteristics that you're looking for. And from second gear, here we go. Shifts are so smooth too. What you would feel or want from an Audi vehicle, especially a more luxury focused SUV like this. There's no drama to the shifts, which is something that I would want in a sports car, but in an SUV like this, I think it's definitely nice that they're much more smooth. And even on the downshifts, I'm assuming that it would automatically rev match because they are equally as smooth for the downshifts. Nothing harsh about it. It's very quick and precise with that Steptronic automatic transmission. But again, we're in a 6-figure 3-row SUV, and it is a good option to go with if you are in the market for a combination of performance and practicality. Steering is also incredibly tight. That was impressive for that quick UE there. and it sounds so good. You could throw on an aftermarket exhaust if you even wanted more sound out of that twin turbo V8. But as far as the pricing goes for this SUV, I wouldn't say it's overpriced as far as some of the other competitors that offer a 3-row vehicle with this performance. I think this is in a good price range, especially with the performance that it does offer. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the 2023 Audi SQ7 Prestige. Once again, a huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Be sure to check out their website. That link is down in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.